Hey you guys, it is I, your very own Amaru, and I'd like to welcome you to a new episode of Food and a Single Guy. You saw the title, Oh yes, today we're gonna be making a cheesecake. And not just any cheesecake, boo-boo. No, it is Amaru's Piña Colada Cheesecake. Oh yes, because I'm extra like that. Now you guys, up until 2014, I believe it was, I had never had cheesecake in my life. Never before. I traveled to Birmingham, Alabama to visit with my longtime friend Heather, and she used to live in Birmingham at the time. And then for my birthday, I traveled to Phoenix, Arizona, and that is when I met with my other friend Rachel. And she used to live in Tucson, Arizona, so she drove all the way from Tucson to Phoenix, her and the entire mashpucha family. Yeah, and they treated me to a post-birthday lunch at the Cheesecake Factory. So for dessert, that is when I first had cheesecake. And it was delicious. I had the Oreo cheesecake, a slice of it. It was so delicious. I posted a picture of the cheesecake on my Instagram food page and on my Facebook food page. So go ahead, check it out. And in addition to that, I have to say, it is the fault of the Golden Girls. Yes, that is why I'm making a cheesecake today. Because every time these gals had an issue, they dealt with it by eating cheesecake. And I'm a massive fan of the show. And I have watched the entire series from season 1 to 7 multiple times. I know the dialogues, I know the monologues, I know what's going to come. I just know the show. I love it. And so recently I was watching the final season yet again. And I said, you know what? I have a couple of episodes to go. I'm going to go to the store and get me some cheesecake. So I had the cheesecake while watching the show. And then it hit me, what am I going to cook next for the cooking show? And then it hit me. Why don't you make yourself a cheesecake and dazzle the viewers with it? So here we are. Okay? Now, as I said, it is not just any cheesecake. It is Amaru's Piña Colada Cheesecake. And I hope you'll like it if you'll give it a try. Let me tell you something. It was out of this world. I shared with my mother, with my brother, with both of my neighbors here. I still had plenty left, and let me tell you, you guys, it was so good. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay? Now, I'm gonna list all the ingredients for you in the information box below the video. So without further ado, boo-boo, let us continue. Okay, you guys, so first what we're gonna do, we are going to prepare the crust of the cheesecake, and I am using these coconut biscuits for my cheesecake, which I'm going to crush. I am then going to add them to the food processor, and in the food processor, I will continue to finely crumb them. Okay? So, here we go. And that is the way the cookie crumbles. Oh yes, we are now going to add the crushed cookies, the crushed biscuits, to the food processor. So I've added the crushed cookies to the food processor. We are now going to blitz them into very fine crumbs. Here we go. All right, so let's have a look-see. Ooh, honey, yes, this is looking good. In fact, this is the perfect texture. Now, we are ready to proceed, baby. Okay, you guys, so what I have here is my deep cake tin by Paul Hollywood, and this is from his Gold series. I purchased the entire set when it came out. I've never used this one before, so today I will be christening this bad boy. So what we're gonna do, and by the way, I am not a paid spokesperson for the Paul Hollywood brand, just an FYI. I just love the products and that's it. So what we're gonna do, we are going to add the melted butter to the cookie crumbs, and then we're going to make a beautiful crust for our cheesecake. So let us continue. Okay, you guys, so now I'm gonna add the melted butter, just like so. And we're not gonna add all of the butter yet, because while you want a nice crust, you don't want a soggy crust. The crust should not swim in the butter, if that makes any sense. Alright? So I've added the rest of the melted butter. And we're simply going to give it a nice stir. And I'm using unsalted butter, by the way. So keep in mind, you want to end up with a crust that is not too soggy and not too dry. Alright? And when you press it like this, and it's kind of solid, rather cakey, that is when you know that you've added enough butter, and this is going to be a perfect crust. Alright? Alright, you guys, so next what we're gonna do, we are going to pour the cookie crumbs into our cake tin, which I have lined with some parchment paper, as you can see. Just like so. So next, we're simply going to evenly spread out the cookie crumbs. Just like so. And you want to eyeball it a little bit because you want to have even thickness of the crust. And then you're simply going to tap it just like so. Just so it's nice and even. Alright? There we go. This is looking good, and when I tell you, you can smell that coconut. Alright, this looks about done. Let me show you. See? So now what we're going to do, we are going to refrigerate this for about 10 to 20 minutes, okay? In the meantime, we are going to continue to prepare the filling. Alright, you guys, and now for the next step. What I have here is my cream cheese, and to the cream cheese, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1, 2. I'm also going to add about a cup of sugar, just like so. Now you want to adjust to your own taste. Make it as sweet as you like, but don't go crazy, okay? Be mindful of your sugar intake. This is not a healthy dish to begin with. But every now and again, we have to indulge and treat ourselves, right? Yeah, all right. So let me go ahead and clean this up a little bit. Could it be I'm falling in love with you? Alright, so next I'm going to use my mixer, and I'm going to mix the cream cheese and the sugar and the vanilla until it's nice and smooth. So, here we go. Alright, so this is looking good. Let us clean up the sides a little bit, because if there's one thing I don't like, it's mess in the kitchen, and I am not a messy cook. This is looking good. Now you guys, you want to make sure that your cream cheese is at room temperature, otherwise it is going to be very tough to mix, okay? Now, as soon as your sugar is dissolved, that is when you know that your cream cheese is basically ready. Alright, let's have a little taste. This is the bomb. Oh yes. So now we are ready to proceed with the next step. Okay, you guys, so we're going to set this to one side, and we are going to make room for the blender, because that is what we're going to use next. In my blender, I have my coconut milk and my pineapple chunks, and we are going to turn this into a very fine puree. Alright, so here we go. There we go. I think this is done. So let's have a look-see. This is what it looks like. Oh yes, this is looking good. Now I'm gonna taste it. Oh yes, you can definitely taste the coconut and the pineapple. So next what we're gonna do, we're going to set this to one side, and we're going to prepare the whipped cream. Okay, you guys, so to my bowl, I've added the heavy cream. I'm going to whisk this on high speed until it's nice and thick and stiff. But before we do that, we're also going to add about half a cup of icing sugar. Just like so. And away we go. And And you want to start gradually. And then turn it up a notch or two. Well, this looks about done to me. Yeah, baby, this is what I'm talking about. So next what we're gonna do, we are simply going to put together the cheesecake. Alright? So, let us continue. Alrighty then. So, to the cream cheese, I am now going to add the coconut and pineapple mixture. Just like so. And to that, we are going to add some of the whipped cream. And we're simply going to fold it into the cheese. Just like so. Alright, you guys, this is looking good. It is smelling good. Now let's have a little taste test. Yeah, this definitely tastes like cheesecake. So next what we're gonna do, we are going to pour the batter into the cake tin, just like so. Now, let us flatten the top a little bit, just like so. And those of you that have been with me since the beginning, you guys know that I don't like to bake. I don't like to bake. I don't have a sweet tooth. But every time I set out to bake, it just happens and it's, you know, a success. So, yeah. I shouldn't complain about not liking to bake, right? But baby, this is looking good. We are now going to tap it a couple of times and then we're going to refrigerate this bad boy overnight. So tomorrow around this time, we shall cut into it and I shall dazzle you with the final presentation. All right? All right. Okay, you guys, the moment of truth. It is the next day. We are about to unveil the cheesecake and we are going to remove the spring and the, whatchamacallit, the parchment paper. Pray for me, you guys. Pray for me. Okay, step one. Honey, when I tell you that I am a nervous wreck. I have never been so nervous about a recipe or a dish ever. Ooh, honey, it is looking good. Now, let me show you the crust of the cheesecake. It is looking good, you guys. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Yeah, baby. So what I'm gonna do now, I am going to put this on my cake stand and then I'm going to cut a piece out of the cheesecake and then I'm gonna decorate that piece because what I'm gonna add to the cheesecake are coconut flakes, and I'm not too big a fan of coconut flakes, so I'm not gonna decorate the entire cheesecake with it, but just the piece. All right? Alright, now let me go ahead and put this on my cake stand and dazzle you with the final presentation. Now speaking of the final presentation, doesn't that look gorgeous? Baby, let me tell you, it was creamy, it was delicious, it was delectable. I'm not gonna lie to you. And you know what I always tell you? If my food is not good, I will share that with you too. Because on this channel, it is very much a case of what you see is what you get. I cannot be fake with you or to myself, okay? Now, if you decide to try Amaru's delectable Piña Colada Cheesecake, let me know how it turned out, because I'm always interested in hearing from you. In the meantime, do be well, take care, happy cooking, happy cheesecake eating, happy rest of your weekend. Don't add crazy to the craziness, and I will see you when I see you. Have a good one, you guys. Bye.